God, you're Ellie freaking Conway.
Author of the Argylle series, Ellie Conway!
I am such a fan.
Oh yeah? What is it you do?
Espionage. I love this book.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, where we talk movies and more. I'm your host, Mason Phillips, and I am here to talk about the newest Matthew Vaughn movie, Argylle. Now, let's talk about the plot.
Reclusive author Ellie Conway writes best-selling espionage novels about a secret agent named Argylle, who's on a mission to unravel a global spy syndicate. However, when the plots of her books start to mirror the covert actions of a real-life spy organization, the line between fiction and reality begin to blur.
It's time for you to meet the real Agent Argylle.
So I'm always down for a Matthew Vaughn movie. I've enjoyed all of the films that I've seen of his, starting with X-Men First Class, The Kingsman, The Secret Service, Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and I'll be honest, those are the only Matthew Vaughn movies I've seen up until Argylle, which I just saw this past week. Now, let's talk about what was good about the movie. I loved the spy feel of it. I think Matthew Vaughn has always wanted to make a James Bond movie, and this is just his way of doing so. He's talked in interviews about wanting to do a cinematic universe for spy movies, for what the MCU has done for Marvel and comic book movies. And I think that's really cool. I love seeing that kind of stuff. Something else I really liked about it, which was the cinematography. Our cinematographer on this movie was George Richmond, and I gotta say, he did an awesome job with this. I can't say that this was ever a boring movie to look at. It was always so entertaining. There's that flair that it comes from a Matthew Vaughn style film, but it's also interjected by the colors, and this movie's just really colorful. Either in the book fictional side of things with the Argylle character, or in the real life spy stuff with Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell and Samuel L. Jackson. Like, that stuff, that was really cool. The next thing I really liked was just the world building. Again, going back to that spy aesthetic, it was just really fun. There's this cool lore behind everything, and again, it falls into that kind of James Bond fighting Spectre, or fighting this elusive evil government agency. It was really cool to see that kind of world-building aesthetic. Again, this is something that it feels original. I just loved the world-building aspect of what they did here. The cast, it's a stacked cast. You got Bryce Dallas Howard, you got Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, Henry Cavill, John Cena. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. They had fun with the script. I'm telling you, they had fun with this. And you could just tell that each actor is eating up everything that they're given, and I loved seeing that. You can tell when a cast is having fun on set, and I think that that's what they brought a really great energy to this movie. The score was great, the cinematography, like just all these callbacks to wanting to pay homage to this genre. Now let's get to what was kind of mixed with this movie. I liked the plot twists, but I think there were a little too many. It's like you get hit over your head with one at the beginning involving Bryan Cranston's character. I'm not going to say what the twist is, but when it happens, you're like, okay, I think I know what's going on here. They actually do telegraph it at the beginning of the movie with kind of everything that's going to be happening through the movie. So if you're really paying close attention, you'll be able to figure out what happens. And as it was going on, I was like, oh yeah, okay. They kind of told us to expect this. These twists just kind of they feel like they come out of nowhere. And then as we go further into the movie, there's another twist, and then there's another twist. And I feel like at the end of the movie, I didn't do a count, but there was like 5 or 6 like plot twists that are thrown in there. And then the mid-credit scene comes in, and that does like a whole other plot twist, which does involve something with the Kingsman franchise. Again, this aspect of the multiple twists, I think it was a little heavy-handed, done a little too many times. Not necessarily bad, but just too much. Another thing that was a little mixed was the action sequences. And not to say that they were bad. Again, nothing in this movie was ever bad to look at. I was never bored watching this movie. But the action sequences tend to go on maybe a little too long. And I was like, okay, when are we getting to the end of this? When are we getting the resolve? But then something would come to turn it around, bring you back in, pull you back in. You're like, okay, I'll stick around with this for a little bit longer. And then it would go long again. You're like, okay, I think I'm kind of done with this. And then it would pull you back in. These action sequences, I feel like they went on a little long, but they were really they were stylized well enough that I still enjoyed watching them in the end. So it's mixed, not exactly bad, but not exactly great. Now, what was bad about the movie? I'm going to go right back to the multiple plot twists. We didn't need so many. I'm going to say that the plot twists were a good thing in the movie, a mixed thing in the movie, and a bad thing in the movie. I didn't need so many. And I think that it does kind of convolute the plot a little bit as you're getting into the middle. It clears up at the end, but I will say when I got done watching the movie, I may have had a few more questions than I should have had walking out of it. And I don't know if that was the intent of Matthew Vaughn here. I don't think it was. And I will say that that's probably the main negative I had with it. So I'm going to say that this falls into a weird category of good, mixed, and kind of bad. At the end of the day, we didn't need this many plot twists. My final thoughts on this movie is I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give this movie a score, a 4 out of 5 on the number scale. It's a solid 4 out of 5. It's a solid B movie. I really enjoyed this movie. And just of all the movies I've seen this year so far, it's got to be at the top. But there's a lot of good movies to come this year. I cannot wait. However, I'm not too excited about the next movie I'm going to be talking to you guys about, which is Sony's Madam Web. We'll get into that more. If you've seen my out of the theater reaction, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to go more in depth on that movie as we get into the review. Guys, thanks for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe every time you like these videos. It always helps out the channel. And also, if you would, go ahead and watch the next video. It's my double feature review for both The Beekeeper and ISS. I think you guys are really going to like it. With that down and out of the way, have an awesome and a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.